Bauchi State Governor hints Nigerian Air Force about mystery helicopter hovering around the state. FCT Police Command announced movement restrictions ahead of council polls. ASU warns of looming strike over non-implementation of agreement with government. And on the foreign scene, gunmen attack Libyan Prime Minister's car ahead of vote to replace him. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in full. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has hinted the Nigerian Air Force of the presence of an unidentified helicopter hovering around the state, prompting the Nigerian Air Force to begin investigation. According to leadership, the suspicious helicopter is thought to be hovering around Lamibara Forest in Toro and Ningi local government areas of the state. The governor drew attention to the presence of the helicopter when he received the newly posted air officer commanding the Nigerian Air Force Special Operations in Bauchi, Air Vice Marshal Tajuddin Yusuf, at the government house. He said intelligence security details available to him from the local areas indicates that the helicopter used to fly over the forest is a development that raised concern about the safety of the people living around the forest. Yusuf commended the state government for its concern on security in the state and called on the public to assist the command with useful information to enable it to discharge its duties to them. Nigerian military on Wednesday confirmed that 2 of its officers died in a shootout with unknown gunmen in Ihiala town, Ihiala Council of Anambra State. Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, also confirmed that 4 members of the Eastern Security Network, the security arm of the indigenous people of Biafra, were killed in the gun duel. He stated that the gunmen were caught napping while forcing the legal sit-at-home order, pointing out that the gunmen fired sporadically into a petrol filling station in Ihiala. On receiving the distress call, troops of the Nigerian army mobilized to the location to restore normalcy, where a fierce gunfight ensued, during which the troops neutralized one of their leaders and 3 others. Items recovered from the gunmen during the encounter include 1 motorcycle, 2 pump-action double-barrel guns, 12 live cartridges, and substances suspected to be cannabis, among others. Bandits terrorizing communities along Libya-Zamfara axis have launched a fresh attack on Libya town at the early hours of Wednesday, killing divisional police officer among others. The bandits ambushed a combined military and police team who were on rescue mission to the residents of one Halliru Libya attacked by the bandits. Abdullahi Amadi has an update on the attack.
Bandits have killed the divisional police officer of Libya local government, DSP Abdulkader Abubakar Rono, during a fresh attack on Libya town Wednesday morning. Similarly, the bandits also killed a senior military officer and wounded another who is receiving medical attention at Katsina General Hospital. The bandits, who were said to have ambushed the combined team of military and police, also wounded 2 civilians and killed another during the Wednesday's attack. The police public relations officer, Katsina State Police Command, SP Gambo Isa, who confirmed the incident, assured that the police command is doing everything possible to track down the hoodlums and bring them to justice. Abdullahi Ismail Amadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, has demanded justice in the murder case of 5-year-old Hanifa Abubakar, who was recently kidnapped and killed by Abdulmalik Tanko, the proprietor of the school she attended. The First Lady made the request Wednesday during her visit to commiserate with the family of late Hanifa in Kano. Speaking with journalists at Kano Government House, Mrs. Buhari insisted that appropriate punishment must be meted out to the culprits to serve as deterrents to other criminal-minded people. The FCT Police Command on Thursday has announced restriction of movement from 12 midnight of Friday 11th February to 4 p.m. on Saturday 12th February in Abuja towards ensuring security during the conduct of the area council elections. A statement by Police Public Relations Officer, FCT Command, DSP Josephine Ade, says the restriction exempts students who were already scheduled to write their WAEC examination nationwide, as well as other essential workers. He warned that those who did not fall within any of these categories and are found wanton will be made to face the wrath of the law. In the same vein, ahead of the FCT Area Council elections, pro-democracy organization Yaga Africa has called on residents to come out in their numbers and participate in the poll. Executive Director of Yaga Africa, Samson Itodo, made the charge during a sensitization and awareness campaign at the Duse Alhaji Market in Abuja as part of activities to mark its 15th anniversary. Itodo also called on eligible voters who are yet to get their permanent voters card to do so in order to vote in credible leaders come 2023.
The turnout for voters at elections have been appalling. And Yaga Africa working on election is very disturbed like other stakeholders. And we are very determined at Yaga Africa to increase the level of turnout at elections. Whilst we are working to ensure that the electoral law is assented to, we also ensure that we mobilize citizens, give them the confidence to participate in the political process. And please, for every Nigerian who is out there, if you've not collected your PVC, go and collect your PVC, because this is the only voice that you have to speak. And the forthcoming elections, both at the FCT and in 2023, gives you an opportunity to elect leaders of your choice that will take decisions on your behalf, but more importantly, that people who will provide for our welfare and security, which is the primary purpose of government.
The local elections are as important as the national elections. Let us stop sitting back and waiting for things to change. Don't just stay at home and complain that things don't work. Democracy is only determined by those who show up and make the system to work. We can only take back this country from poor leadership when we come in and vote in leaders who will represent us. Younger leaders, female leaders, and leaders with capacity, competence, and character. Those are the people we need in government, and we need to start at the local level. Come out and vote. Don't sit at home. Get your PVC. This is where your power lies.
In education, the Academic Staff Union of Universities says it is ready to declare an indefinite strike. Speaking after its Congress meeting, which held at the University of Abuja, the zonal coordinator of ASU Abuja Zone, Dr. Salahu Lawal, says the union will not be reaching a new agreement with the government. The union faulted the government for its failure to implement the February 2019 agreement, which laid precedent on the 2009 ASU federal government agreement, as well as that of 2012, 2013, 2017, and 2020 memoranda of understanding. Lawal noted that it is already over a year and government is yet to implement the proposals contained in the document since the suspension of the 9-month strike. He also added that the union has commenced a one-week campus-by-campus mobilization, sensitization and conscientization of its members nationwide on the state of the union vis-a-vis their cardinal demands and next line of action. Still on education, members of Academic Staff Union of Universities of Kaduna State University accuse government of foot-dragging deployment of locally developed payment system for university lecturers, even as they lament poor funding of state-owned universities. The union calls on all relevant stakeholders to prevail on government to keep the universities afloat.
The present salary structure ASU members are benefiting from was negotiated and implemented in 2009. And the agreement was that was to be reviewed in 3 years. And this is 13 years down the line. That salary has not been reviewed. If you ask yourself what is the exchange rate of the Naira today compared to what it was 13 years ago, and you look at the take-home pay of members, ASU members in Nigeria are collecting the less when you compare it to other African countries. And so these are some of the issues. Unfortunately, ASU met with government set up a committee, and the committee made recommendations to government. And up till now, government is yet to sign that agreement that has been reached by the by both sides.
You're still watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. How school dropout fabricates electronic car. Do stay with us.
Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. The virus can spread from an infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe. These particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller aerosols. You can be infected by breathing in the virus if you're near someone who has COVID-19, or by touching a contaminated surface and then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. The virus spreads more easily indoors and in crowded settings. Maintain a safe distance from others at least 2 meters even if they don't appear to be sick. Wear a mask in public, especially indoors or when physical distancing is not possible. Clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. Get vaccinated. Properly fitted masks can help prevent the spread of the virus from the person wearing the mask to others. Masks alone do not protect against COVID-19 and should be combined with physical distancing and hand hygiene. Protect yourself and others around you by knowing the facts and taking appropriate precautions. Follow advice provided by your local health authority. This message is brought to you by Trust TV.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Trust TV News Updates. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. You heard that Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has hinted the Nigerian Air Force of the presence of an unidentified helicopter hovering around the state, prompting the Nigerian Air Force to begin investigation. You also heard that FCT Police Command has announced restriction of movement from 12 midnight of Friday 11th February to 4 p.m. on Saturday 12th February in Abuja towards ensuring security during the conduct of the area council elections. Moving on to other news. In health, Nigeria Center for Disease Control recorded 37 infections across the country on Wednesday. The new cases were recorded in 5 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The agency data shows 10 people were discharged on Wednesday after recovering from the infection. No death is recorded on Wednesday for the 4th consecutive day, leaving the fatality figure at 3,139. Nigeria now has a total of 253,875 confirmed cases and 230,221 recoveries. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has appealed to wealthy nations to assist low and middle income countries to procure test kits, treatments, and vaccines. A 200-level student of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, identified as Ajibola Ayomikun has died after falling into a soakaway in her hostel. The incident occurred in one of the private hostels in the student village. The University Public Relations Officer, Abiodun Olarinwaju, confirmed the development. While describing the incident as sudden, Olarinwaju said the management of the institution immediately deployed rescue team to the scene when the news reached the university authority. While sympathizing with the entire students and the university, they commiserated with the parents of the deceased as well. The Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Eyitokpe Ogunbodede, said the incident is unacceptable and promised to critically investigate the circumstances that led to the death of the student. Ogunbodede appealed to the student to remain calm and law-abiding as the police are also investigating. A school dropout in Maiduguri, Borno State is fabricating wheels that run with electricity. This is coming as the world pushes to mitigate the effects of climate change through reduction of gas emission to the environment by 2050. Cars emit fewer greenhouse gas, which poses danger to health, but with new innovations of electric vehicles, it will preserve the planet. Take a look at the amazing small local vehicle factory in Maiduguri.
Mustafa Gajibo is a school dropout from the University of Maiduguri. The 29-year-old owns a small factory that's into designing and building vehicles. Beside the young innovator's passion converting wheels to generating sets for the past 3 years, he says reducing economic hardships and fuel hikes inspired his work.
At this time in Nigeria, we have a lot of problem of fuel going up. And then in turn, prices of transportation will also go up. So much drought, most especially in this part of the world, Nigeria. We are facing so much drought, food security is being threatened. So we have to find solutions.
A fabricated vehicle, after charged for 35 minutes, can operate at a range of 150 kilometers. The factory has employed 12 staff and it has a production capacity of 20 vehicles monthly. He plans to push up his target to 4,500, but he needs support.
Very well, we need support from the government, most especially in terms of policy, in terms of funding. For example, now you can see there are so many parts of this vehicle that we import them from abroad. So we need a policy, a good policy, where we can have access to foreign exchange at the official rate, so as to bring down the cost of our production. Put even zero duty on any parts that you're going to import if you're going to use this part for production of electric vehicles. So with these little policies and also funding from the government and from the private sectors, we will surely upscale our production.
Governments across the world are also looking to reduce carbon emissions, air pollutants that contribute to health problems, and electric cars will play a big role in helping fuel economy and lower fuel costs. This innovation can also be an alternative for Nigeria to escape fuel crisis.
The Nigerian Senate has passed for a second time a bill for an act to amend the Pension Reform Act to provide for an indefinite percentage a retiree can withdraw from his retirement savings account. Senate also confirmed the nomination of 2 persons for the Federal Judicial Service Commission and 4 others to be considered for the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. The report.
Leading the debate on the pensions reform bill, Senator Aliyu Wamako said the essence of the bill is to address the plights of retirees in the country.
Mr. President, the existence of a Pension Reform Act 2004 is not amended as Pension Reform Act 2014, and the Act provides for a departure from the old pension scheme of defined benefits to new contributory pension schemes, CPS. It also provides for set-up of National Pension Commission, PENCOM. The Pension Act, as amended, cannot be said to have achieved its objective of solving the intractable pension crisis. Suffice to say that issue of pension in Nigeria has more or less turned a monster that has defied all effort by state government to contain it.
A cross-section of senators who are in support of the bill described it as timely, especially having been enacted in 2004 and a review in 2014.
Retirees have no other means of survival simply because their savings account is just simply accumulated with the pension commission, which determines what they want to give them as a lump sum. That lump sum will not last 6 months, it's gone. And then the amount of money that they give them monthly is too small for them to survive up, because they have no voice in the amount of resources that comes to them at the monthly money that comes to them to take care of their families.
Most of these beneficiaries or pensioners don't have a clue. It is what the operators tell them they have as their contribution in their account. That's what they take. And overall, they now come again to define what you are going to get and what you are not going to get. And I think this is the misery that pensioners are suffering from. And I think, like the leader said, beyond the issues we are talking about here, by 2024, that would have been 20 years of implementation of this pension reform. I think it is time for us to begin to assess and evaluate the operation over these years and to see the ills or the successes with a view to coming up with another comprehensive reform that is people-friendly, that will help the retirees.
And to say that the plight and distress which retirees face in our nation has come to a point where it's as if it is a crime to serve one's nation, investing the better part of one's life, only to retire into hardship. Our savings under the contributory pension scheme is meant to be a saving for the rainy day for pensioners during their working days, their active life.
The bill, having entered second reading, is referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for further legislative action. The committee is to report back within 4 weeks. In another development, Senate confirmed the nominations of Namonso Ekanem and Mahmoud Abubakar Magaji as members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. The nominees, who are from Akwa Ibom and Niger states, are to represent the South-South and North-Central zone on the commission.
That the appointment of the nominees satisfy the requirement of paragraph 12E of the third schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, on the appointment of members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. 2, that the nominees, Namonso Ekanem SAN and Mahmoud Abubakar Magaji SAN, are fit and proper persons for appointment as members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. 3, that there is no petition against the appointment of the nominees as members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. 4, that there is no adverse report against the nominees as record checks and other forms of investigation by security agencies did not reveal any negative trace against them.
Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Namonso Ekenam SAN from Akwa Ibom State, representing South-South Zone, as a member of the Federal Judicial Service Commission? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Namonso Ekenam SAN from Akwa Ibom State, representing South-South Zone, is hereby confirmed as a member of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mahmoud Abubakar Magaji SAN from Niger State, representing North Central Zone, as a member of the Federal Judicial Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Mahmoud Abubakar Magaji SAN from Niger State, representing North Central Zone, is hereby confirmed as a member of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. Congratulations to both of them.
Similarly, the Senate has forwarded President Buhari's request for the confirmation of 4 nominees as commissioners for the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to the Committee on Power. The committee has 2 weeks to report back.
In business, Nigerian Insurers Association says insurance companies have paid 11 billion naira claims on losses suffered during the 2020 #EndSARS protests. Chairman of the association, Ganiyu Musa, stated this at a press conference briefing in Lagos. He said as at January, insurers have paid over 11 billion naira as claims that arose from the EndSARS protest of 2020, while earlier the association had released a report that the claims were paid on vandalization, lootings, theft, deaths, and cases of loss of cash. And finally, away from Nigeria, gunmen have attacked Libyan Prime Minister Abdelhamid Dbeibah's convoy in the capital, Tripoli. Reports say the attack took place early hours of Thursday as the interim leader was returning home. One of the bullets penetrated the windscreen of the Prime Minister's car, but he and his driver escaped unhurt. The attack comes amid intense factional wrangling over the control of the government, with Dbeibah, who was named interim leader last year, pledging to fight efforts by his opponents to replace him. Libya has had little peace or stability since the NATO-backed uprising against former leader Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. The country in 2014 split between warring factions in the east and the west. We've come to the end of News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.